but what were we before we became that? And so when we walk it backwards, and I'm hearing your music, what came to me, there's one way to always live in the growing edge. When we sang there's only love, that's the growing edge. The growing edge is the recognition that spirit, that God is all there is, and God is love. Yes?
Yes.
So if God is love and God is all there is, that means love is all there is. Can we say that? And if I'm one with God, and I know that I'm one with God, that means I'm one with love. And if love is all there is, then love is all I am. Yes? What's that? So then it takes me to the place where then there's only really one response for anything that happens in my life if I want to live on the growing edge, if I want to stay green. Because, see, I don't really always like being green. I keep hearing that song, Kermit singing, "It's hard to be green." And he knows what he's talking about. It's hard to be green because I know what I'm talking about. The older I get, I know what I'm talking about. You understand?
Doesn't Kermit sing, "It ain't easy being green"?
Yes, that's exactly it. Hermit sings, he sings it. And so here we are, trying our best. Everybody loves that line from Pulp Fiction when Samuel L. Jackson just about to shoot somebody, and he starts to do this spiritual blessing. I quote scripture. I wish I could remember which one it is. And finally, at one point, he's telling this dude, "Look, I'm trying my best to be a shepherd here, dude. Okay, I'm a trained hitman. I came here to shoot you. But I'm trying my best to be a shepherd." Most of us are trying our best. No, I don't think so. But if it is, I don't think that's the one he quotes. I could be wrong. I just know, but the part that's important, let's just say you're right, but the part that I'm really bringing, because I don't want to say it, because I'm going to look really bad if you are. So let me concede now. I'm not going to go home and look it up. I say, uh-oh. And because that point I'm really making is the part where I'm really trying. Aren't we all? And they love to say that there's no such thing as try, it's only doing. That's not true, people. Because as long as you're continuing to put forth the effort to make something happen, you are in the process of doing it. But we don't count the doing until we can see it done, because we're stuck in something called sequence. And we believe that things happen, and then there's a cause, and then there's effect, and then there's a residue. Oh, we believe in sequence. Do you understand what I'm saying? But causation does not happen sequentially. If a thought is a thing, that means the moment I think it, it's already a thing. And if I don't see that thing, it simply means that I have not aligned myself with that idea well enough. That means I have not let go of the things that are not producing that thing. And as I'm willing to approach my life from such a place where I'm letting go of those things that's keeping me from exactly the very best version of myself, I'm always on the growing edge. And the only way I can stay on that is ask the question, what would love do now? What would love do? What would love be? How would love express itself right now? Whatever circumstance I find myself in, this is why I keep using that. I thought it was so ridiculous. As I was writing last night, I heard myself say, I sound so stupid. I sound so Pollyanna. There's a part of me that's fiercely being gripped. That's ridiculing my spiritual progress. Do you understand? Because I'm having to let go of so much of who I thought I was. That who I thought I was is not happy about it.
Is it because you get scared? Because if I'm not this, what the heck am I?
Yes.
Now what do I do?
Well, first, I actually think that's an evolution where you are. I think the first instinct is no. Yeah, say that's always in orbit. Yeah, so first it's like, wait, well, what? Because I need a good reason to be doing this. But sometimes,
Attached to my hair. Can you imagine attached to my hair?
Now that's okay.
yeah, I'm not going to go after that.
And whatever we get attached to say, okay.
So you just had to take us all to the deep end of the pool, didn't you? You're right.
Our attachments
Attachments can be
Picture of love.
in a picture of love. We woke up for this. See, this is what I was trying to say. Last week, the same thing happened. It wasn't working. I just had to step out here and start talking. Okay, it's happening again. But this talk is in the room, isn't it?
Yes.
This is not about me. It never has been. And just beautiful how this is just a spontaneous awareness. There's something that's always growing inside of us that doesn't fit wherever we go. Thank you for that. So you know that guy, huh? But that's the growing edge people. But if the growing edge is always criticized, the growing edge is always because the growing edge is a child that doesn't know its boundaries yet. Because the child doesn't have any boundaries. It's just learning how this particular system fits right here. Are you with me so far? And different systems in different places work different ways, and we've had to adapt to different systems our entire lives. Because we're adaptable that way. That's what growth looks like. But water seeks gravity takes it to its point. It's going to seek the lowest level. And consciousness is one of those things that if we take the path of least resistance, it happens easier. Not necessarily faster, but easier. Because there's no sequence. It can't be faster. The question is, how much resistance am I experiencing? Because it's already here. Because the thought is the thing. Are you with me? Sometimes we have that thought rattling around for a long, long time. We turn the corner and bang, there it is. Isn't that right? Because we held that thing consistently. We knew it existed. My daughter, Maisha, she's really been, I just love this quote. I don't have to explain exactly all the stuff around it, but she's in Ramadan and she's praying for her perfect mate. And then she's in Ramadan's coming up too. And her affirmation was, because I'm here, I know he's here. Do you feel that? Because I know who I am and I'm here knowing this thing is true. Because I'm here knowing that it's true, I know that it's true. Now, she don't know. But she came out of Ramadan and within a week bumped into, met the dude and said, who's that guy? And I got to tell you, this delightful man showed up in my life. It's great to have somebody show up like that in your life. There's only love. I said, no, too soon. Both of y'all, too soon. I'm playing, they asked me, Webster. I said, I get to be the judge here? Old-fashioned guy came in and talked to me about my daughter's hand in marriage. I'm like, okay. It gave me a choice. I said no. Because I wasn't green. I was stuck in the all too soon. They were too soon. It's too soon. I'm not making this up. You just got out of something. Y'all need time. This too soon. I'm too old to not know this is too soon. You know what I'm saying?
Yes.
But I spoke to the man, and in 15 minutes, I'm like, damn, that's the dude. And so I had to grow past some tender shoots grew out of the bark. Do you understand what I'm saying? This ain't about me, please. I just used that example so it was so visceral in my mind. But we all have those visceral ideas where the bark could be more tender and we could be more green. I owe Piranjali apology. I wish she was here. I'm going to apologize. And man, this happens every now and then. I just have to apologize to my wife. It'll be on tape. I'll go get her. Did you do that? No, this is a growing edge for me. I'm reeling up here.
Yes, you rang.
I apologize for the ride over. You were right. And I was tripping. And I just want to say it in front of God and everybody.
Oh,
All right?
Well, that's very, very sweet.
Every now and then, y'all might hear me say things in a way that might not sound as loving. But, you know, I'm
33 years in, I sit up here and sometimes I hear stories and I'm like, that is not how that happened, but stay quiet. But thank you, I appreciate it.
no, I had to do it. I had to do it because we talk about the growing edge, and this came up in my growing edge, you see.
Well, I love your growing edge.
So you need to bring that around more often.
All for it. We'll get you in again.
Thank you.
You're welcome. The growing edge is being willing to surrender who I think I am and what I hold dear at any given moment. There can't be anything more sacred than being in the loving moment. That is the growing edge. Now, sometimes you're going to miss those loving opportunities. Can't really do a whole lot about that. But because I know I probably missed, you know, they say squirrels forget over 50% of where the nuts are buried. So I'm just figuring there's probably over 50% of the stuff I'm not even seeing. I know it's probably way more than that. So when I see one and I say, oh, there's a place for me to be more loving, then I really have to go chase that opportunity. Otherwise, it's just too easy to get rigid. When I heard my grandson, and I shared this so much when he said, "You just mad." And I thought it was so funny. See, if I'm rigid, I don't even hear that. I don't even have the shoots that are tender enough to pick up the vibration in his voice and not, first of all, have to defend myself, you know, from what this kid just say to me, and hear the wisdom in his words because I'm green people. Are there any green people in here? See, I'm not here, and it's funny, I make another joke on that one. When I took this cruise, and I was in this jewelry store. I didn't get it when people know when the boat comes, and they know who you are when you walk in the store. They assume you have money. I'm in this place in Alaska that's selling gold that's been carved out of rock, polished up, and made into jewelry. It's like pieces of disc rock with gold links and these little white, this kind of whitish quartz rock with veins of gold in each link, and that's a bracelet, and that's a watch, and this is some nice stuff. I'm looking at it, and I'm telling you, I know how to act in a place like this. I got my hands behind my back because I'm not going to break anything. The man keeps asking me, do I want to try something on? He knows I want to try it on, but I'm afraid to try it on. I don't feel entitled to this. Do you feel me? So I'm not going to be up there, and I don't want to have to take it off and say no, be embarrassed because I'm not going to buy it. Although if I had the money and decided I didn't want it, I'd take it off and say no, but I don't have the money. Now I'm embarrassed. Crazy. Find the man, because God is always present. God is always saying, I'm surrendered. So y'all want to be on the growing edge. So when you're on the growing edge, stuff will just happen, okay? The guy comes from behind the counter and said, this is ridiculous. He grabs my hand and puts the bracelet on. He takes the watch, he puts it on my other. He says, you are going to know how this feels before you leave the store. You're not going to say no looking at this stuff. You're going to have to say no wearing it. So he put me in the position as if I already had the money to buy it. This is how this is evolving. I don't know what's coming out of me. This is just happening. Please know this is real time. I never thought about this before. This is like total surrender just in the moment. I didn't even know I guess I knew I had the issue, but to articulate, I didn't want to try it on because I didn't have the money to buy it, and I would be too ashamed to take it off and say, it's like I'm exposing how poor I am. So I'm too proud for that. I'm not going to put that thing on embarrassing myself. Where pride shows up, and we won't back down. But when you're in that surrender mode, you sometimes, the universe will just intervene. And that's what I'm looking for. Be so surrendered that the universe doesn't wait for my permission anymore. I have so many examples. If you're from New York, you know you're supposed to haggle with the people. Okay? I don't haggle well. I don't haggle. I'm going to pay for it or I'm not. I guess it's that thing again. You can't do that in New York. You're looking at this thing and you haven't even asked them about it. They'll stop you at the door. Don't you see anything in my store you want? Push me to the next level. Where am I willing to be more loving in my life? Which relationship am I willing to deepen? Who am I willing to forgive? What part of myself is holding me back? That part of myself that's embarrassed to be who I am. That part of myself that I'm judging, that says I don't measure up. And we all have that self that's judging ourselves. We are the judge and we are the judged. We are the judged and the judge, all in one. It's kind of that paradox of being and becoming. You know, let's look at two different things, but it's the same thing. It's happened simultaneously. There's no sequence in consciousness. So when I think about something, it's already so because I'm here. I know it's here. And so I proceed in my life in such a fashion that it can be no opposition to this idea. Because every opposition I see, I have an affirmation for it. Because I'm here. I know it's here. Can we say that?
I'm here. I know it's here.
So what good are we speaking into our life when we say that? Growing edge is the idea in my mind. This is what I call living from the absolute. And I was bragging to my lovely wife, love of my life, the other day. I got into a fight, not a fight, but an argument. Maybe not an argument, but a conversation that had conflicting ideas. With ChatGPT, I said, isn't it true that it said you cannot live from the infinite or the absolute? And it came back with, oh, yes, it's true, and gave me about like 15 or 20 reasons why it was true. And I went down the list, and I debunked all 15 or 20 of those and sent it back. And then it gave me 15 or 20 more. And that's when I said, oh, no. And I went back and I reviewed the tape of the first conversation. It didn't answer my question. I said, living from the absolute, and it starts talking about how it's impossible to live in the absolute. So then I was able to tell the computer, the algorithm, your response is a non sequitur. I really enjoyed that. It doesn't flow from a logical premise. Living from the absolute is the willingness to self-correct back to the absolute at any given moment. Chad came back and agreed and said, you're right. So that's why I was strutting around the house. That's right, I just whooped the computer, man. Don't mess with me. I'm smarter than ChatGPT, y'all. It's not a good ad for them. But it says right there it makes mistakes. But here it is. Where can I be more loving? Where can I surrender more? Because, see, we know we've seen all the signs that say, what would Jesus do? Well, what would love do if God is love? Are we one with love? Am I one with love? Is anybody in here one with love? Am I in the right room? So what would love do then? See, stop thinking about who. I love this. This is a Rasulism. I have to stop being who I was in order to be who I am. I have to stop being who I was in order to be who I am. How does Michelangelo become stone again? David become stone again. David's got to know I'm stone. No matter what's happened, no matter what I look like right now, I might look like this statue of this dude called David, but I'm still stone. Is that true? Thank you. So if I'm one with the infinite, no matter what story I'm telling myself about who I think I am in the cosmos, no matter what my reality is, my political persuasion, families, orientations, what all of these things are, at the bottom line, when I extract the wholeness of myself, I am consciousness, I am love in action. And in order for me to live my fullest self, I must subscribe to the realization that I am on the growing edge, and I must be willing to surrender my position at a moment's notice, because the moment I surrender to the realization, sometimes I don't see it. But you see, we do see it though, don't we? Don't we? Okay. And it's those flickers that tie us back into the wholeness. Those flickers are reminders. They're like the synapses. The flickers are the synapses in our brain refiring the truth so powerfully that we literally have physical manifestation of that in our lives. And we can see the light that's happening inside of us because we keep surrendering to that light with every voice, with every choice. Consciousness is cause. I don't care what I think or feel about anything. Consciousness is cause. And love is consciousness in action. What would love do? Because that's who I am. It's not the most popular place, even in sometimes there's some just. My friend Charlie Carlin just had a stroke, and I'm praying for Charlie, and I'm reminded of this because we have this tomcat in the area. And I've been talking about these feral cats. Well, it turns out they're female. So we have activity around the house. And this one cat, and I got issues. See, you don't always know where your issues are. Apparently tells me this all the time, but what does she know? This cat, I've never seen this before. He's taken over my yard. He thinks this is his house. He sits up on my porch under the chair because he wants to be out the sun like it's his porch. I come home. He's right there. He don't even say hello. He just look at me like. Just, I put cat out I'm trying to feed these. He come and eat their food. They scared to come around. This bothers me. And I'm looking it up on chat, what I can do, what I should do about this. First, don't take it personally. Wow, don't take it personally? You'd think that'd be the first thing I would know, especially who I say I am, don't take it personally, but I'm taking this heck of personally. You're not dominating nothing around here, dude. This is my house. I'm looking at chat, and chat's saying, not according to the cat. It's just all the stuff you do with dogs, that's not going to work on the cat. That's his turf, dude. Those cats were born in your backyard. I'm on the growing edge here. You feel me? I want to do something bad to this cat.
Just call TNR, call the animal care.
Yeah, they're not coming. I called them. They won't come. They won't come. They want to charge me. They want me to pay money to get rid of this cat. I'm not going to hurt the cat, people. I'm trying to tell a story, people. I'm not going to hurt the cat. Okay, this is about being on the growing edge. I didn't realize I should have made some kind of warning, like some kind of no animals were harmed in the making of this conversation,
Just keep the cat. Yeah, love the cat.
So y'all just gonna make the edge, and so this just gonna grow more clearer the more I have this talk. Do you see how the growing edges happen? Okay, I just want you to see how it happens, because it's happening to me right now. I'm being challenged in the moment. I thought I was being all evolved and stuff. Look how wonderfully I've evolved and how I've handled this situation with this cat. And the conversation room immediately elevated it to, yeah, but why don't you do this? Can I be this loving? Are you seeing what's happening here? This is what surrender looks like. It's like I don't want to defend any of these positions. I find myself, why don't I become that loving? Well, I have my reasons why I don't want to do that. But the question is, can you be more loving? And the answer to can I be more loving is always what?
Yes.
Okay? It's always yes. So, where can I be this yes in my life? That's what this conversation is about.
I have a request from someone to
Yes.
read something that is very pertinent
Okay.
to this.
Okay.
So, and I want to say, one of the things that we read is that cats don't recognize dominance like dogs do. Like if you dominate a dog, it will back down and surrender, and, you know, even though it's still feral, it recognizes your dominance. Cats don't do that. They consider it a threat. And I thought it was very interesting that Reverend Mulata, you were able to generate more love for the female cats. This male tomcat and you are like in this male dominance thing. And it's true. And that,
I love
and
today.
it is. And that resentment came up. Like, here's this animal in my territory trying to dominate me, not okay. I'm the man around here. Anyway, that was my observation. And me, I'm over here. So this is a request, and it's a request to go back to Howard Thurman. And I've been asked to read this, and I would like us all to just contemplate how it relates to what
It's
you
time to
have
go
been
back to it.
saying
Yep.
this morning.
It's
And
absolutely
this
time to say it.
particular thing, Howard Thurman, more loving in my heart. I want to be more loving in my heart. I want to be more loving. Often there are good and sufficient reasons for exercising what seems a clean, direct resentment. Again and again, I find it hard to hold in check the sharp retort, the biting comeback when it seems that someone has done violence to my self-respect and decent regard. How natural it seems to give as good as I get, to take nothing lying down, to announce to all and sundry in 1,000 ways that no one can run over me and get away with it. All this is a part of the thicket in which my heart gets caught again and again. Deep within me, I want to be more loving in my heart. To glow with a warmth that will take the chill off of a room when I share with those whose lives touch mine in the traffic of my goings and comings. I want to be more loving. I want to be more loving in my heart. It is often easy to have the idea in mind, to plan to be more loving, to see it with the mind, and give assent to the thought of being loving. This is crystal clear. But I want to be more loving in my heart. I must feel like loving. I must ease the tension in my heart that ejects the sharp barb and the stinging word. I want to be more loving in my heart, that with unconscious awareness and deliberate intent, I shall be kind, a gracious human being. Thus, those who walk the path with me might find it easier to be loving, to be gracious, because of the love of God, which is increasingly expressed in my living. I want to be more loving in my heart.
Reverend Mulata, while you're in this interim period, I just realized that something like that, we could all, in our consciousness, start praying over the cat's consciousness. Like, you feel you own this, and just prayer from love, from that consciousness. Who knows? Maybe your consciousness will touch the cat, and it'll amend something.
That's true. I agree. I believe that that nature is just being nature, and I'm taking nature personally. That's what the truth about what's going on. Those cats would be doing exactly what those cats do if I wasn't there. The only difference in their behavior is I'm over here making decisions about what should and should not be happening. And because I put food in the backyard, I think I get to control who eats the food I put in the backyard. Well, the possums and the raccoons have already proven that's not true. The squirrels are taking the fruit off the trees. They've already proven that's not true. And I've had to allow that particular edge to grow. Because see, I'm not going to harm the animals, people. This is some old programming, okay? But now there are some mosquitoes is fair game. You came in my house to eat me or eat my stuff, that's different, okay? But I'm not going to harm the animals. So this was never about the animals. Okay, I was trying to use this as an example of a consciousness unfolding. And I wanted to talk about my friend Charlie Carlin. Because in the moment when I was at the highest, the heat of the tempest, I have enough programming, conditioning, and surrender and study. There's like a safety release valve that kicks in that says, you are not supposed to be having these feelings right now, no matter how justified that I am. Do you understand what I'm saying? Whenever I find myself worked up to a frenzy, I recognize my problem, whatever I thought it was, is now being dwarfed by the frenzy. Okay? So I begin to adjust, what the heck is going on with you, dude? You are worked up. You know, and Pure Angelique's like, yeah, okay. She's kind of humoring me, going along, we're making jokes, but she said, this dude's off the rails right here. Yeah. And that's, that's Summer Madness. That's right. So, man, I thought about my son Gabriel Tufts, her son. He's one of these animal people. Some people, or both of her sons are animal people. Okay, William has caught like several praying mantis. I've never seen one before. He's shown me like in his hand, I've got to see because he catch them in the yard. I don't know how he does it. We saw two pit bull puppies walking down the street one day. Who grabbed the two? He grabbed them both, picked them up. Whose dogs are these? Cats will come to him, feral cats. He's that good. He says, everything deserves a chance to live, Kawanta. Well, I wasn't raised that way. I'm just telling you. You know, and I was raised, some things are killing offenses. And people killed each other. I grew out of that, of course. But this is another level. And now I want to hurt these animals. See, I'm on the edge. I can be hard, or I can get soft. And I thought about Gabe. I need my son. I need somebody with this level of consciousness to talk to right now, because I'm starting to get set in my ways. People, the older I get, the more set in my ways I become. And so I am in fervent search of places where I can still be tender and I can still grow. And I realize I'm in that moment. In the tempest, we're in the moment. Are you with me? I thought about Charlie Carlin because a few years ago I had the same issue with these squirrels in my almond tree. Do you hear still my almond tree? The tree was there when I moved there. And so were the squirrels. Nobody, they planted the tree, you know. Nobody showed them the deed to that tree. The almonds aren't good until August. They eat them in June. And leave a mess for me to clean up. I'm mad about this. I'm talking to Charlie, who's my resident Buddhist. Great guy. Looks like Santa Claus. Came in here one day, just had this glint in his eye and looked at me and told me the truth about myself and just been one of my biggest supporters ever since then. I love him. He's like a Buddhist drill sergeant. He gently puts the boot to you. But he's doing it. Are you with me so far? And he keeps me on my growing edge with some of the things he says. And when I was having this conflict with the squirrels, I'm talking to him about it. He's giving me all this Buddhist gobbledygook. And Charlie sent me 1 pound of almonds. Well, half of them shelled and half of them unshelled, with a note that said, leave the squirrels alone, damn it. I had to figure that consciousness had something to do with that. Leave the squirrels alone. What a metaphor. Because we all have squirrels. Yes? They eat the stuff in June. I don't get to enjoy them. I water the tree, you know. I trim the tree.
And they say thank you.
But I left the squirrels alone. The reason I left, I'm going to be honest, and I didn't really grow that much. I'm going to be total transparency. There's another part of the growing edge here. I left them alone because I took one of those shelled almonds that Charlie gave me, and I put them in the nutcracker, and I realized, I'm not going to crack all these nuts. I'm fighting over something I don't even want. I had to take all the nuts. I had 2 bags of nuts. I'm getting these nuts. They ain't not getting these, I bet you that. Took them all back outside and just dumped them out. By now the squirrels have kind of moved on, but the crows, they loved me that day. They loved me. Okay, we're coming and we're taking over them now. But I have to surrender, people. The growing edge is always where I surrender. And we must be willing to surrender at all times because we don't know what we're talking about. Because we're talking about things as if we are individual beings with individual lives that, as Howard Thurman said, we're desperately gripping to preserve. Because they think it defines us. It's one ray of sunshine. It's not the sun. Are you feeling me on this? Leave the squirrels alone. All the ideas of lack and limitations of what I can and cannot do. If there's an opportunity in front of me, I owe it to myself to explore the opportunity if it's something that I desire. And anytime I find myself limiting myself, I must have ways and means to stop myself from that self-judgment, that self-talk that talks me down from my highest ambition and back into the comfort of my everyday life. How do we do that? Well, one thing I know is if I get too worked up, it's time to check myself. Where's the checks and balances that brings me back to center? So I'm no longer pursuing, I love Don Quixote. I'm no longer pursuing windmills in my mind, believing them to be dragons because I think, oh God, you didn't do me like this. It's going to take a minute. Here it is. Because I think I am a knight. I have to have a dragon to slay if I'm a knight. Yes. And I'm mad at the dragon for showing up. But how would anybody know I'm a knight if I didn't have a dragon? Whatever we say we are, life sets us up to prove that thing is true. That growing edge, that living edge, that inner edge is that tender space that's always evolving and always growing. And there's the rest of that quote, and I'm not going to struggle to find it. The rest of that quote as you get further down, life continually attacks that tender place. Not to grind us down, although we learn we get ground down, but not to defeat us, but to keep us open and alive and growing. Oh, you say this, but can you be more than this? You say that, but can you be more than that? You say this, but can you be more than that? And the question is, can I be more? And I don't have to answer the question, can I be more? Because the truth is, I always am more. Isn't that correct? So if I always am more, then I can always be more. It means I can always do more. That means I can always grow. And so I'm here to stay green and grow. I don't want to be set in my ways. It's kind of late for some of that stuff. You know what I want to say to those cats? Stay off of my lawn. The old men in here understand what I'm talking about. Get off my lawn. It's my turf, my space, mine. Mine. Because I think I'm an individual. Which is why I discourage thinking. It helps solve how to stay in the box, but it doesn't get us out. Where am I willing to grow? Where's my growing edge? We're looking at politics right now. We're looking at ICE right now. These are the things that come across, and I feel, this is why I said I feel foolish, people. I feel foolish because I've been so judgmental in my life about people who talk about pie in the sky, by and by, life. From the church I came from, the day Jesus is going to come back. Nothing wrong. I had trouble with that. I never wanted to talk about what's going to happen. My lure for religious science was it taught me how to live in first person present tense and that nothing's going to happen. Everything is happening right now. But when I talk about this, I sound like the other place. I sound like I'm talking about by and by because people don't see it in front of them right then. They don't get it right then. When I say they, there's no they in oneness either. So I'm talking about who?
You.
Thank you very much. But if you can hear me, so how do I go deeper than that? I got to stop being who I was in order to be who I am. So nothing is sacred. Nothing's off the table. Every relationship is under review because the truth is God is relationship. God is not a noun. God is a relationship that's always evolving with itself, as itself, becoming more of itself. And if I'm one with God and God is in a relationship with itself, as itself, becoming more of itself, then I'm with myself, as myself, becoming more of myself in every moment. And if I want my very best life, and I do want my very best life, and I want that same very best life for everybody else, that means I'm spending all day long thinking about how to be the very best version of myself. And the only way I know how to do that, I've adopted that prayer from Dickens. This is why I say I sound silly, I sound stupid, I sound Pollyanna, because I say, God bless us, everyone. That's the Christmas story, for God's sake, man. Come on, dude. That's your panacea? That's your antidote? That's your salvation? God bless us, everyone? Yes, it is. Yes, it is. Yes, it is. It's Black History Month. Black History Month. And I always here in my mind, I have been to the mountaintop and I have seen the glory of God. And that's what keeps me on the growing edge. Because I know I am the growing edge. I am the glory of God. And everything in my life that's not reflecting that is under review. Whenever it doesn't show up in my life, how can I be more loving here? Just showing, I don't know who requested it. Consciousness requested it. That was not my plan. I'm like, I wasn't ready for that. Didn't really want that. Had to surrender to it in the moment. Many of you may have seen me surrender to it in a moment, but I'm at a place in consciousness right now where Spirit is no longer asking my permission to just do stuff. But guess what? So are we all. Isn't it happening? Don't you have some kind of serendipitous things just happening? You look around, you turn the corner, something good, something wonderful is happening as if by mistake or coincidence. There's no coincidences in consciousness. That's your evolution. Guess what? People who expect bad things to happen, they turn the corner and find random bad things happening to them. Confirmation bias. That's the way the mind works. Because the law of the universe, the law of God is reciprocity. It is done unto you as you believe. It's simply true. That's not cliche. It's the law of attraction. What goes around does come around. And the more I say God blesses everyone, I'm getting this clarity, man. My writings are really helping me get. I'm getting this. The more I say God bless us, everyone. The more I become the blessing everywhere I go. Are you with me so far? The more I just resort to God bless us, everyone. The more I surrender to the blessing for who? Everyone. Well, since there's only one of us here, I'm everyone anyway. So if I'm willing to bless everyone, that means I'm willing to bless all parts of myself. See, the places and people and circumstances I don't want to bless, they represent shadow parts of myself I don't want to look at. So if I'm just going to bless the parts, every part except them, the shadow gets as big. Once wherever the light grows brighter, the shadow's got to get darker. That's reciprocity. Are you feeling me on this?
Yes.
So the more I do, the God blesses everyone. The more I feel that God blesses everyone. The more I feel that God blesses everyone, that scripture that says, I will restore the years the locusts have eaten. Do you recognize when you say that, this is God talking to Job after he took all these things away from Job, and just this was a deal with the devil. God says, you can mess with Job, just don't take his life and all these horrible things. You need to read, this is a great story. And so Job's had everything taken. And God says to Job, I will restore to you the years the locusts have eaten. And it's like, but then who sent the locust in the first place? He says, the locust, my mighty army, I have sent to you. Well, why did you send me these hard times? What the heck is wrong with you, dude? I'm not ready to hear that so you can grow. That doesn't work. It doesn't work to say, well, God has got a superior intelligence that I don't go. So no, because I'm stupid, I get to have bad stuff happen to me? That's not what's going on at all. I looked this up. The idea of being, and becoming is one thing. Remember we talked about no sequence. Being, and becoming is one thing. I am is always I am. I am always the oneness. That's the truth about myself. I am always being, I'm always becoming. Becoming what? The images and thoughts that I have in my mind when I speak my word and say, because I'm here, I know it's here, I'm always that thing. I'm always becoming that thing. I'm always open to that thing. When Moses asked God, tell who I shall send me, he said, I am that I am, saying I am whoever I need to be in the moment. I cannot be defined with your language. That's the truth about all of us. Yes? We've all answered the call, and that's why we're here. And that's all I really can say. I just got a little excited about it. Because I didn't steer this ship at all. And I'm grateful for that too. Namaste. Man.
Kitchen smells good, huh? The aromas are wafting out of the kitchen, tempting us.
Indeed. So we're talking about a resonant frequency of coherence, where everything lines up as one. And one of the places we do that is in this law of circulation, this time of sharing we call offering, where we get to help our consciousness stay green and grow around the idea of giving and tithing and being a part of a spiritual community, and of course our own sense of financial worth and whatever issues come up around with that. All of those things become grounded right about now. And so I want us to bring that, where can I be more loving with myself right now? So that I can enter this consciously from that place of knowing that I am the glory of God. If you repeat after me our prosperity affirmation. From a consciousness of abundance.
Consciousness of abundance.
And centered in gratitude. I generously give.
I generously give.
I accept the gifts.
I accept the gifts.
Of prosperity and abundance.
Prosperity and abundance.
As I demonstrate divine circulation in my life.
As I exhibit divine circulation in my life.
In gratitude I freely give.
In gratitude I freely give.
In joyful acceptance I freely receive.
In joyful acceptance I freely receive.
Thank you.
And if you're giving online, the address is give@sfcsl.org, and that is PayPal and Zelle. Thank you. I am remembering who I am. I am remembering who I am. I am remembering.
into the wholeness and the cycle of abundance. To know that the law of circulation is always operating in my life. We allow it to flow through this offering, through those who give it, to every place it's used. In operation of the oneness of God throughout the cosmos, we gratefully accept it. And so it is. Amen.
So it is.
So we come to the point in our service where we do the spiritual mind treatment. And the spiritual mind treatment is also known as a affirmative prayer. And there's 5 steps to it. There is the recognition that there is a higher power, the first cause behind all things. And all of us have our own name for it, the name that resonates with us. Mine is God. Then we have the unification step, in which we know the oneness, that we are part of that whole, part of God, part of that higher being, that part of that power. There is no separation. And in this step, we unify ourselves with it. The next step is the realization. Knowing that that higher power is ours to use. It is a gift. It is a gift to manifest all its glory in life through living. The 4th step is thanksgiving. Being grateful and giving gratitude for that divine gift which has been given. And then the final step is that release. Release, knowing and affirming that all that we desire, that all that is desired, that all God's glory is already unfolding and coming into the light. And so I'm going to do a spiritual mind treatment. I'm going to sit down to do it. You may keep your eyes open or closed, whatever works for you. I tend to close mine. And so let's just take a moment and center ourselves. Visualize that light within, that warmth. That is soul. That is God. And it's radiating throughout the being, the physical being, the spirit being, and radiating outward, connecting. So there is one God, one power, one thing behind all things. It's the thing called life. It is life. It is everything that is seen, heard, felt, touched, smelled, tasted. It is all those divine things that the senses pick up. Right now it's a door opening. How beautiful that God realized a door. How beautiful that God realized a chair to sit upon when the knees are tired. How beautiful that God realized that a body can hold a soul, another physical being, and bring it into life. It is the celebrations, it is the hugs, it is the laughter, it is the joy of living. And there is no separation from it. Every single being is of God. Therefore, every single being is God in manifestation, in realization. It is, I am. So as I speak in the term of I, the I is all. I am knowing that I fearlessly step across the threshold.
Yes.
I release all fear. I release that word no.
Yes.
And instead, I embrace the word yes. Ooh, and take that word in, yes. It's a very powerful word. It is saying yes to God, yes to spirit, yes to whatever name you give that energy. It is saying yes to life. It is saying yes to living. And as I sit here, right now, I am saying yes to the highest and best good. And as I step over that threshold, my mind imagines that highest and best good. But there comes even more. For there is even more of God wanting, desiring to be expressed than I can imagine. And I am God, so it's going to manifest and express through this being called Cindy, called Reverend Mawada, called Lisa. And it is manifesting its greatness. It is the health of having a physical being that moves with agility and flexibility and strength. That there is this miraculous physical body that can heal itself. And I accept it. And I know it. I know that whatever transpires within this body can be healed. It is the knowing and the accepting that life is abundant. There is no desperation, for I manifest a life that provides all that is needed, and I live with ease and comfort. And because I can live with ease and comfort, I can release that worry and stress about finance because I know it is always in circulation. It is always coming forth. And it is allowing me to live life in all its joy and being. It is the abundance of relationships, the smiles, the touch, the heartfelt love that just keeps circulating through all these individualized expressions of God and manifesting God's greatest love and joy. Because it is always there. And it is beautiful. And all I had to do was step across the threshold and say yes. And I do that every single day, knowing that that is my divine inheritance, that that is the gift. So I wake up and I say yes. I move through the day and say yes. And at night, as I lay my head down, I say yes to the highest and best good, God. And so I give thanks right now. Thanks for this gift of being able to use that energy and that power of God. And it's not even a separation of using it, because I am God. So I just give thanks for that, just being and knowing that it is, and allowing it to just create. What a gift. And so I release this knowingness, this absolute faith in this gift, in this crossing the threshold into God experience in all its glory. I release all that into the intelligence, into the power of God, known as the law of God. and knowing that it already is. And so it is.
Oh, it is. Thank you.
And you have a song.
Yes.
We how joyous.
Yeah.
What the world needs now is love, sweet love is the only thing that there's just too little of. What the world needs now is love, sweet love. No, not just for some, but for everyone. Lord, we don't need another mountain. There are mountains and hillsides enough to climb. There are oceans and rivers enough to cross, enough to last till the end of time. What the world needs now is love, sweet love. It's the only thing that there's just too little of. What the world needs now is love, sweet love. No, not just for some, but for the one and everyone. Lord, we don't need another meadow. There are cornfields and wheat fields enough to grow. There are sunbeams and moonbeams enough to shine. Well, listen, Lord, so we can know that what God's offering is love, sweet love. It's the only thing that there's just too little of. What the world needs now is love, sweet love. No, not just for some, but for the one and everyone. What the world needs now is love, sweet love. Is the only thing that there's just too little of. We need love, sweet. Oh, so sweet, God. So sweet you are, God, to give us love.
That was beautiful. So this is our part where I will share the announcements with you. These are things that are coming up within the next week. So let me just share those with you. So today is Fellowship Sunday. So right after this, we will be setting up and pulling tables out, and we will share a meal together. As part of our Fellowship Sunday today, we are celebrating Daniel and BB's baby shower. Yay! So please, if you did not know about it, do not worry. Your presence and being part of the celebration is just enough. So please, it is enough. So please, if you can, stay for the whole thing. And Daniel and BB have so graciously agreed to participate in the cycle of giving and receiving. So what we're going to do is after we eat, before the cake, they're going to come up here and open the gifts with all of us so that we can just participate in the joy and the oohs and ahs. So thank you. Tuesday from 8 to 9 a.m. is Boxing with Daniel. Wednesday, this coming Wednesday, we do have the Visioning Core, and that's at 6:30. It meets here in the center, and it's also online. It's a hybrid, so you can look at the newsletter to get that link. Wednesdays, Shambhala Yoga takes place here. It's from 7 to 8:30. So if you want to participate in that, and that's evening.
Excuse me, I think the Shambhala is a meditation. I'm not sure if they do yoga.
Oh, is it a meditation?
Yeah.
Oh, meditation.
Yeah, a
Sorry,
little
not yoga. Oh, I gotta fix that. Then this Friday, if you're looking for a 12-step program, NA meets here from 5:45 to 6:45 p.m. And then Saturday, if you didn't get enough boxing on Tuesday from 12 to 1, Daniel will be doing boxing again. And then this coming Sunday, February 7th, is Core Conversations at 1:15 with Daniel as well, where he talks about science and mind topics. So is there anything I missed? Okay. Reverend Mwada will be doing our, do we have another song? No. Okay, Reverend Mwada will be doing our benediction.
If you do want to donate or contribute to Daniel and BB's new baby, there's a code here that you can scan, and there's a list of things and items they need. So if you do want to, it's right
that's
here.
great.
Thank you.
And I'll put it on the back of the screen.
Thank you.
Indeed. Thank you. Well. Grow an edge. Stay green and grow, people. Spirit is calling us with every breath and every heartbeat. God is looking at the stone that Michelangelo saw. And God's going, perfect. And it's so beautiful to be in a place and to have a spiritual community that continues to remind me of the truth of my being and allows me to explore it with such ferocity and passion, and to know that I'm not on the journey alone. So my gratitude extends to every aspect of my life. God blesses each and every one. I want the highest and the very best life for all beings everywhere. I'm speaking it into existence, knowing that each time I speak it, that vibrational frequency is flowing in me and through me and as me, and I am the blessing of the world. And what's true for me is true for each of us. Each of us is the blessing of the world as we continue to bless it. And all we think and all we say and all we do, we stand resolute in the realization, and you can repeat after me, please. The light of God surrounds me.
That surrounds me.
The love of God enfolds me. The power of God protects and watches over me. The wisdom of God guides and directs me. And the substance of God supplies, supports, and sustains me. Wherever I am, wherever I go, whatever I think, do, or say, God is, all is well, and so it is.
So it is.
Thank you.
Let's gather in a circle and sing.
Come together in a circle. I forgot to mention, if you want prayer after
Oh,
service,
yes.
practitioners are available. Gabrielle and myself, Karen Jamie, prayer at SFCS
Thank you. Let's gather in a circle and sing, I am the place where God shows up. All right. Here we go.
Are you going to stay there?
I am the place where God lives, moves and breathes and has its being. I am the place where God shows up. I am the place where God lives, moves and breathes and has its being. I am the place where God shows up.
We are the place.
We are the place where God lives, moves and breathes and has its being. We are the place where God shows up.
And you are the place.
You are the place where God lives, moves and breathes and has its being. You are the place where God shows up.
And I am the place.
I am the place where God lives, moves and breathes and has its being. I am the place where God shows up.